The general idea here is to talk about what automation actually is. You use it every day without even thinking about it in every other section of your life. But when it comes to business, people get scared. Is it gonna work? Do I need it? It's like, of course you need it. Start a business, you get the logo, you put it on a van, you build a website, get your Google listing up, you get your automation up, then you can start advertising and go to work. There's a specific order that it should happen. Check out my screen here. So you buy a house. What's the first thing you do when you buy a house? You get your appliances. So you could very easily do the dishes on your own, right? But isn't it a lot easier to just have a dishwasher? It just makes sense to have a dishwasher. You would never think to yourself, I don't need a dishwasher for this house because we've got the people like me and my wife and my kids. And then we got the sink. You need something to automate one of the biggest headaches, doing your dishes. What about washing your clothes? Look at this poor guy. He's scrubbing his clothes, trying to clean it all. Why not just get a washing machine? Doesn't it make it a lot easier to do your laundry? Automation saves time. What about hang drying your clothes? You got string. Just because the clothes are wet doesn't need to get, you need to get all fancy. Doesn't mean you need to invest all this money into a drying machine, but wouldn't that be a whole lot nicer if you had that drying machine? These are machines meant to automate. That's what they are. They're automations in your house. And it's the first thing you do when you buy a house. You get your appliances. What about cooling your food? You have a cooler, you've gone camping. Why not just throw all your chicken in a cooler? Well, because it's a lot easier if you just put it in the fridge so that you don't have to keep refilling it with ice and draining the water, refilling with ice, draining the water, moving stuff around. Because it's been in our lives for so long, we don't think about whether or not we need it. We know we need it. This is essentially what's happening here, right? You're trying to run a business. I'm trying to run a business. I'm just like this guy right here if I don't have all of my automation kind of set aside, right? There's sticky notes everywhere. Look, I've got these old notes. I've got the to-do lists. I got another notebook that's for something completely different. I got this thing, but now I don't really need all that stuff. I still use it. I don't have to like swap out one thing for the other. It doesn't have to be so black and white. It's a lot easier if I just have a system that looks like this. And now everybody is being managed. Now I have so much more time. I can make videos. I can build the business. I can work on partnerships. I can go on really shitty podcasts that have really angry viewers that hate people in marketing. With good reason, because a lot of people in marketing are selling dreams they can't fulfill. We are not a marketing company. We are an automations company. And you know what? If you've been burned in the past, fine. We all have. Learn from your mistakes. Do better the next time. This is what should basically be happening. So you have your business, then you have your website, then you have your van, you have your Google listing. To amp that up, you try to get your SEO, reviews, content, the structure of your site, structure of your GVP profile, your authority, your site links, all that stuff. And then you have your automation, because everything leads to the automation. The automation's like your text, your emails, the API, your CRM, your AI training, your funnel, all this stuff. You need all this stuff set up. These are your business appliances. If you don't have your business appliances set up, you're scrubbing your clothes like a chump. Do you want to be a chump? You don't want to be a chump. Now, once you have these four things, now you can move on to advertising. If you start advertising first before you get the automation in play, you're just burning money. What are you doing? If you place the cart before the horse, that horse is going to run over that cart, is going to trip on the cart, is going to break its back, is going to be a bloody mess, and your entire business is going to be out of whack after you hit that 2nd million, 4th million, 8th million, 10th million. All of a sudden, those systems that were working as a mom and pop shop are just going to break down. And even if you're doing 20 right now a year, you probably have a staff of like 30 people that hate their job because you're making them do manual labor. So if you're making somebody do something that can easily be done automatically, that is punishment. You want your people to be doing the things that they're best at. If not, you're wasting their time and you're not going to have retention. We can't all be trying to sell dreams. Don't try to sell a dream. If you can't deliver on your promise, you make all of us look bad. When I go on a podcast and some dude is like, hey, all of you guys are all the same. You're selling 40 installs at $100 a lead and all of this. And it's like, yo, did you even do your research before you actually check that out? I don't know. Because what it sounds like to me is someone was trying to sell you a dream and you bought the dream. Of course you're going to be crucified after that because you bought the dream. You didn't do your research. Did your gut tell you that that was maybe a little too good to be true? Well, then it probably was. But you need the automation. Everything feeds the automation. The automation can then bring all of those people that are coming in through SEO. They're coming in through people seeing your van, calling the office. Once they call the office and you get them into the system, they're in your funnel. You know what I mean? And once they're in your funnel, never leave. It's a big circle. The trouble with using CRMs for automation is they're trying to do too many things. And most of the automations that they have are linear. So they drop off at a certain point, even if they're like 20 deep, right? They drop off. And then what are you going to do? You're going to send everybody a mass text message 8 months later, trying to re-engage them? No one's going to like you if you do that. So what you want to do is you want to be able to talk to people based off the last conversation that you had with them. And that's what we solve. We're building these automation systems so that you don't have to do that. Once a lead comes into your ecosystem, that should be the only time that you really have to cater to them until they reach back out. They're not going to reach back out if all you're doing is begging for their business every time you're slow. You have to touch base with them, develop relationships with them. Even when they have an emergency, they're going to know exactly who to call. So this is what we do, and this is what I think every single business needs. I hope you all have a lovely day. That is all I have. Goodbye.